Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, for the first edition in quite a while of a true crime video from me. This one being about the Idaho Four, and I'm going to lay the foundation what the state of Idaho thinks that happened, and then we're going to go into what I think happened. Now, in order for this to work, we have to break through the algorithm, and to do that, I need you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any true crime, politics, racing, NASCAR, Formula One, and football, college, and NFL. So, if you like any of those things, make sure to like and subscribe because we're doing all of it right here in Hildreth Media. So, the Idaho Four, for those who don't know, four college students in Moscow, Idaho, the University of Idaho, were unalived in their home at 1122 King Road. Now, the state believes it was Brian Koberger, a criminology student from Washington State. What the state says happened that night is that Brian Koberger went in through the back sliding patio that goes into the second floor. He goes up to the third floor, taking the lives of Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogan with a K-bar knife. And then Koberger goes down the stairs, goes into Xana Kernodle's room, gets into a massive fight with Xana Kernodle, and takes her life, and then takes the life of her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin. He then sees one of the surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen, and walks out the back door without harming Dylan Mortensen or the other surviving roommate, Bethany Funk. And this all happened between the hours of 4 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. Now, there are several problems in this case. The only evidence against Brian Koberger, the only actual evidence against Brian Koberger, is there is touch DNA found on a knife sheath next to Madison Mogan. Now, touch DNA is unreliable at best. You can definitely tell whose DNA it is. You just can't tell how it got there. Now, you can jump to the conclusion that it was Koberger who touched it, and that one of the cases that the defense was going to make is that, well, because there was no DNA found, because he was a criminology student, it was what he was studying, and he was a very good student on top of all that. However, I'll kind of stretch into my opinions on this case, and later on down the road, we will absolutely be going into more of the newsworthy stuff as it continues to roll out, as it continues to be discovered in the documents that a lot of people are vigorously shifting through it. But the you can't use in the same attack line that this was a mastermind who had everything planned out and make several critical errors, leaving the knife sheath, leaving witnesses. Now, I can't say for sure that what all I believe happened, but I think there's no way on God's green earth Brian Koberger could have done this, and most certainly couldn't done this alone. Now, uh, Dylan Mortensen, one of the surviving roommates, she said that there was stuff said like, "It's okay, I'm gonna help you," or "There's someone in the house." With the several iterations of her story, I'm leaving everything out because I don't trust it. And you can read that in two ways. She is innocently getting things mixed up because of the trauma, or it is more nefarious and go as far as she may be in on it. Now, that's going to be a video for a different time. But in what I when I say what I think happened, I am putting absolutely no stock into anything she has said because I I can't take her word for anything that she says simply because it doesn't make sense. And it has changed so many different ways. And the police, Moscow police and Idaho State Police, has not helped her in this. They have played a part in making her look very, very bad. But so, in what I think happened is going to be based on pictures, the evidence that we know of, and yeah. So, what I think happened is I think this was a team. There were multiple people involved in this. If you want to think the roommates, it's your God given right, but we don't know. And again, that's going to be a video for down the road. But there is a team of at least 3 people. And yes, I think it is 3 people. So it could be 4, but at minimum there was 3. You look at the unalivings of Alien Calvez and Madison Mogan alone. You have 2 separate mindsets. You have the calm, cool, collective, efficient, professional, unaliving. It was just a couple well placed stabs into the lung, and I believe it was I think it was lung and liver. It was a professional hit. Someone who has done this before and undoubtedly do again, which is why this case is so freaking important, because the people who committed this act will do it again. And then you have Kaylee. This was a rage unaliving. This was personal. This was full. This was a full-blown psychotic break by the individual who took Kaylee's life. It was frenzied, 2 separate mindsets, 2 separate perpetrators. You have Haley's face bashed into the point of being unrecognizable. The pattern, wavy, like a wavy pattern. And it it is akin to the butt of a gun. I think it's an SR5. Um, Pavarotti. The link to his video will be in the description below. He has a great series on this. A lot of it is based on what he said happened, but he's putting a little bit more stock into what uh, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk has said. I'm putting none of it. I'm putting almost none of it in. Outside of when Funk said that she was woken up by what sounded like a firecracker and a flash, which means a gun went off. So, a gun went off on the first floor. That some sort of gun could have been blanks, and I'm thinking it might have been a blank, unless Moscow PD and Idaho State Police are hiding a lot more than what we believe, which is absolutely possible. But anyway, so we have those two, and then they come down and they go over to Xana's room. They get past to the point of the beer pong table that was unharmed, untouched. You had one side still set up perfectly in that triangle. So that fight that Xana had was far enough away from the beer pong table that it did not affect the beer pong table. So the fight could have very well happened in Xana's room. Now, Xana had over 50 defensive wounds, meaning the person who took her life was not as strong as as Xana was, suggesting that the person who took Xana's life was a female. Yes, a female was involved. Now, who that could have been, don't know. Do not know. And no, I'm not gonna necessarily put the spotlight on one of the surviving roommates at this point, because there's just not enough evidence to support that at this current time. And then the person who took Ethan's life, very skilled, knew exactly what he was doing, and took and could have a background in medicine, in a surgical capacity, due to how Ethan was carved up. The carotid artery was severed in the leg. Again, you have the calm, cool, collective, experienced unaliving of Ethan Chapin. So, the evidence points to 3 to 4 people. So, and then likely the two that went to the 3rd floor, they went out the back and then around to the left side, away from Mortensen's room, while the people took Xana and Ethan's life, went out the front door because some passerby who was walking his dog saw that front door open at around 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning that next morning. So there is definitely more than enough evidence to suggest that it was more than just one person. The crimes, some of the investigator, there was a crime scene expert who said that looked like some cleaning had been done, and that is a hell of an ask for one person to do all this in the span of 20 to 30 minutes. Take 4 lives, do cleanup, walk out the back door while keeping 2 surviving roommates in their rooms, whether it be by threat or whatever the case. Now, and then you have the 8-hour delay between when it happened and when 911 was called. And that, again, it's going to be a separate video coming later on down the road. But I just wanted to lay out what I think happened, what the state thinks happened, and at the end of the day, everything that happened, I don't think Brian Koberger at least committed all the acts. It is plausible that he committed one or he was in on it, but I highly, highly doubt it. So, that is just the introductory to the true crime wing of this channel. We're going to have multiple wings. Because I do believe at the end of the day, if you're able to combine great minds in sports and channel them into other aspects, such as true crime, such as the political realm, greatness can be achieved. Some of the greatest minds, whether it be from a building standpoint, from a philosophy standpoint, they come from the sporting realm as well. And that's why I think it's important to bring people from other worlds together in these aspects, such as true crime, such as politics, because greatness can be achieved when you bring in great minds from different perspectives. So, all right, so got the groundwork laid. More videos absolutely will be coming out as stuff comes out, and we'll be back with more. Until next time, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. See you in the next one.